Call it brainstorming on ice. The NHL is hosting a 2-day research and development camp designed to experiment with rule changes. But seeing a gallery overflowing with top hockey minds and GMs from around the league, one might consider it's a sign the game could be in trouble.
We're really happy with the way the NHL and our game is right now. This is a matter of just collecting information and being proactive and not resting on our laurels.
If you're not tinkering and you're not thinking, you're gonna end up stalling. I think if you don't keep looking at ways to make it better, then I think at the end of the day you get in a position where all of a sudden things just seem to stall out.
The test featured 33 top-rated 2011 draft prospects who not only get to execute the new ideas, but have an early edge in auditioning for jobs next year.
It's pretty cool to get the first look at it and get the first try at it, but yeah, like you said, I guess we're kind of guinea pigs out here.
From tweaks to the game, like changing overtime to 4-on-4, 3-on-3, and finally 2-on-2.
We're deciding so many games now in a shootout. It's not really hockey. It's a skills competition. So 3-on-3 to me is much closer to the real thing. It's a situation that can occur in a game, although it's rare. It's more hockey.
To the possibility of bigger goal creases, a more shallow net, wider blue lines, and 3 face-off dots down the middle of the ice. There's plenty of potential for implementing new rules.
It's an effort to allow skill to make a difference. Anytime you do anything in the game that allows skill to make more of a difference in the game, I think you've made a positive change.
There's no rush to make any changes. As I think most of you have heard from all of our constituents, the game's really in good shape. This is just a way for us to be proactive.
I'm now joined by TSN hockey insider Darren Dreger. And Darren, of the rules that we saw today, which do you think that the league would consider implementing?
Well, there's a handful, but none of these rules will be implemented in time for this season, but they will create some discussion points for both the general managers and ultimately, I suppose, for the Board of Governors over their various meetings over the course of the upcoming season. The hybrid version of the touch and no-touch icing is something that Brian Burke has been pushing for a long time. The hybrid means the attacking player, if the attacking player gets to the face-off dot first, then the linesman waves off icing, play continues. If the defending player gets to the face-off dot first, then play is automatically whistled down, the reason being they're hoping to avoid the risk of injury. Some of the other more practical changes, maybe the verification line. That's that yellow line here at the R&D camp, which is right below the goal line. Well, why would they introduce that? They would introduce it because that'll help hockey operations and the officials on the ice determine immediately whether or not the puck completely crossed the line. Interesting to note, based on the fact that there was a rash of too many men penalties during the Stanley Cup playoffs, made great fun for us in studio with the TSN tote board, but player A would have to be at least partially in that change zone before player B could complete the change. That's something that probably won't fly, but again, they'll talk about it as their meetings continue to unfold. We focused a little bit on overtime. Here's one tweak that I believe will be introduced into the National Hockey League soon, and that's changing of ends before overtime. And what that would do is create the long change, which ultimately leads to mistakes, and that leads to more offense. So those are some of the things I think we could see in play.
And from the rules to the prospects, who do you think stood out for the GMs?
Well, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins of the Red Deer Rebels was terrific, and this young man has to be tired. He's coming away from the Ivan Holinka tournament where he scored the gold medal-winning goal for Canada. Very creative, very nifty, and a lot of the managers that I talked to here were also impressed with his speed. So there's a young man in this crop of talent here that is going to get a great deal of recognition as the year unfolds.
Well, all the prospects will get a chance to impress as on-ice testing continues and wraps up on Thursday. For Darren Dreger, I'm Catherine Dolan.